how I want to structure this up, boys, it'll get a little bit messy if we sort of pick, if we kind of go through the lines individually. So I'll kind of break it down into positions. So we'll pick 3 sort of like running, distributing defenders. We'll pick 4 running, distributing defenders. And that's so there'll be 1 on the interchange. We'll pick 3 key position defenders. We'll pick a total of 8 midfielders, including rucks, and that'll give us wings, and it'll also give us the interchange as well. 3 on the bench. Then 4 small forwards, 3 key position forwards. Starting with the running, distributing defenders. So what I'm going to put down here, I think the first player is very easy. There's at least one just lockable player I think we can all agree on.
3, 2, 1.
Bailey Dale.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say Jordan Clark.
no, Bailey Dale. Come on now.
It has to be Bailey Dale, right?
We can all agree on that. Let's lock Bailey Dale in.
Yep.
The meters gained. What was that game where he had like 1,000 meters gained and like 50 touches or
That
something?
was the 49 disposal masterclass against the Bombers, I want to say.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been incredible in the last few weeks. And when you kind of look into the deeper numbers too, his retention rate with the ball, how well he holds onto it. But then he's also, he kicks them to dangerous areas as well. A lot of score involvements from that guy.
So slick.
He is our first running defender. The next one that I want to just throw in the mix for my pick would be Nasiah Wanganeen-Millera.
Has he gone to another level this year, Naz?
I think he has as far as a volume. I do agree with you that there's a question on the performance of St Kilda overall and his sort of... I feel like sometimes if you wanted to poke anything at Nasiah negatively, it would be that he isn't careful enough with the ball. Yeah. Sometimes when he can turn the ball over in really... Just sometimes you go like, why did you do that then? Like at that moment when you just needed to be a little bit safer on the ball.
I'm sure he's been given some license, given what he's capable of.
Is his best footy at halfback long term?
I think so.
Do you pencil him in right now as an All-Australian halfback? I would probably argue that...
Possibly.
I'm going to jump in with another one, say Lockie Ash, who has been one of the highest rated defenders in the competition, is a lock for this.
I think he is too. I'm just going to jump in there and agree with you. I think he's a lock because of how well he defends.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got that combination with Lockie Whitfield. He's not as much the high volume guy. So some of his like surface level numbers look a little bit misleadingly poor.
Yeah.
But then what he can do, like shutting down opposition's best small forwards, is like so important for that team. They're a team that's ultimately going to be pushing for finals come the end of the season. So I think for me, he's got to be in there just on the roundedness of his game.
Let's lock him in. So we've got Lockie Ash, Bailey Dale. I haven't watched all that much Saints games this year, but I would almost say that Jack Sinclair has been a more important player.
And this is the question, I think, around Nasiah. I think you got to pick one of those.
I'm leaning towards Jack Sinclair, to be honest.
I am too. I'm with you on
over
that.
Naz. And I wouldn't have both of them. Jesse?
Where does Lockie Whitfield fit into this team?
Well, we can pick 4 here.
I don't think Lockie Whitfield's been good enough.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Not...
I would have thought he'd be in the mix.
He's had better seasons, I'd say.
I think he's, again, like volumes there. What's he averaging? Like probably 31 for the season? Something in that.
He's been a very strong fantasy option, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he's got the most disposals overall.
Yeah.
That kind of player. I don't know. I just don't think they've been...
They've been too inconsistent, haven't they?
Yeah.
Is it weird that we could potentially have 3 St Kilda players in this back 6?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Because we got Nas and Sinclair, and we haven't gone to the key backs yet, but there's Cal Wilkie to consider as well.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable putting Jack Sinclair in there.
Yeah, we shouldn't think of that like that. An hour in your heads, but it is a bit of a quirk.
Are we happy for Jack Sinclair?
Yeah, I would have thought Sinclair makes it.
Well,
to be
just
honest,
to go over some of his numbers too that back that up. 27 disposals, 508 metres gained, which is right up there, similar to the other top guys. But where he probably extends himself and puts a gap on the others is a score involvement. So 5.8 score involvements per game. That's overall number 1, equal with Bailey Dale.
For running defenders, that is.
I reckon a big stat for Jack Sinclair is only 3.3 turnovers per game, because all of these guys that are main distributors for their team, they turn the ball over a lot more because they go for those dangerous kicks.
Like Wanganeen-Millera.
What about Dane Zorko? Surely he's in this conversation.
He's in the conversation. I've got him written down. I didn't think, like, just looking at his numbers as well, like, he's, again, surface level, they do look pretty good. 27 disposals, 603 metres gained, 5.5 score involvement. So that's 4th overall. 5 turnovers a game is a little high. But again, he's in that sort of very attacking mode coming off half back. Maybe we're judging him too harshly because of how good he's been in the past.
I
Probably.
think he's had a massive year. I wouldn't have an issue adding him for the 4th.
And they're second on the ladder, aren't they? I mean, they lost
Yeah.
today, but
I wouldn't be mad having Dane Zorko on the bench, but Nick Vlossen has been massive down back for Richmond.
He has.
And Jordan Clark, probably not all Australian, but would be worthy of the 40-man squad. But for the sake of time,
I know we're not doing it like this, but also with Vlosten, like he feels good on balance
yeah.
because of the fact that he's more of that little interceptor guy
Yeah,
as well, and a bit
absolutely.
more defensive than some of the other options. But it is an All-Australian, so I don't think you're fully buying into all of that.
All right.
You'd almost pick him as like a third tall
You could.
because of the way he plays,
Yeah.
right? He's contrasted to, say, Wanganeen Miller.
Absolutely. So what do we go? So we've got Bailey Dale locked. We sort of contradicted ourselves with Lockie Ash and Lockie Whitfield there in the sense that,
Well, Ash has had a better season.
I think- yeah,
and
I
he's one
do.
of the top-rated players in the comp. So,
and the growth in performance has been huge for him and his defensive ability. Sinclair we got locked
so I think for me, it's between Vlossen and Zorko for that last spot.
for that last spot. So no Nas.
I think Zorko has been an All-Australian this year. I think Naz, he looks silky, but I don't know, turns the ball over a bit. I think I don't know. I want a bit more from Naz.
I think it's fair. I think we can kind of only go one of those St Kilda guys too.
I think Sinclair's been better.
Jesse, you make the call for the last one.
Who are we deciding between Naz and Zorko and Vlostron?
Yeah.
Vlostron.
Yeah.
Vlostron.
Well, we've probably got it down to Vlosten, Zorko.
Vlostron, yeah. I think Zorko, but I don't know.
hate that.
I don't know.
I didn't hate that. Let's go Zorko.
So there is the back. I guess we've got a back 7 basically.
That was a
Or
comment
back-
as
or
well
back 4.
from Mab.
So we're going to pick 3 key defenders. I'm going to just go straight ahead here. Take over.
3, 2, 1. Josh
Sam
Worrell.
Taylor.
Okay.
Is that really? Is that
I
seriously?
think Josh Worrell has to be a lock for me.
Really?
He has been my favourite key defender to watch this year. How hard he tackles, that chase down tackle on Nick Watson last night. I think Josh Worrell should be.
He's a gun, but this is stiff competition.
This is stiff competition. And he's also he's a bit of a weird type because he's not, I wouldn't call him fully, I almost toyed with putting him in the running defenders because he's a bit of a user of halfback as well.
All right, so definitely Sam Taylor.
Taylor's going in.
Lock him in.
Look, can I just give you some of his stats here? 3.5 1v1s per game, which is a second overall. He only loses 8%.
That's
one-on-one,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is number 1 by a mile. And then he also takes the highest amount of intercept marks at 4.4. So he just does everything.
Yeah. I'm on the Worrell train. We can pick 3 tall defenders here. Jesse, is there anyone that stands out to you? Cal Wilkie would probably be my other one.
I was going to say Sam Taylor and Cal Wilkie is another lock for me. Yeah, absolutely. As you've written
Cal
down.
Wilkie's a lock for you.
Yeah.
I think so.
In this team.
Gee.
Yeah. As you've pointed out in the program here, considering the volume of inside 50s that St Kilda deal
Yeah.
with as well, I think he has been a really consistent player. Not just this year. Obviously, we're talking about this year. I think Cal Wilkie makes this team.
Wooden
Okay.
Spoon Data says no way Worrell makes a good player, but don't think he's great one-on-one.
I tend to agree. Maybe not with the one-on-one. I think he's
I think he's
decent.
great one-on-one.
Yeah.
He does get beaten a little bit more than some of these top-end guys. If you look at his loss percentage, I think he's up at, 17.4%. That's not bad, to be fair. That's similar to Cal Wilkie.
MAB in the chat says Harris Andrews. I don't think
Nah.
he's had his best year ever.
No,
But that's not any fault
He's
of
had
his.
some dominant performances, but we got to remember it's over 13, 14 weeks
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
right?
I was actually watching him. I watched the GWS game today. It's actually just popped on the screen as we've said that.
Yeah.
He was a bit caught between. It's like he's always going between playing on the opposition's best forward and being that more of a swing man. And I found when he was playing on Hogan today, he was getting dominated. So then they tried to move him around to intercept. And then he kind of got stuck in between. So he's not, I don't know, like compared to like a Taylor, I feel like
Yeah.
he's just not sort of, he's neither here nor there sort
I
of
feel
thing.
like Brisbane have been able to pick. Did I say Melbourne?
Yeah,
you
Brisbane.
didn't. You said
Oh.
Brisbane.
I feel like teams have been able to pick Brisbane apart better than they have in the past, particularly with Harris Andrews. And the reason I thought I said Melbourne was because Jake Melksham did a really good job on him
Yeah.
that day. And there's a bit of a blueprint there now.
Yeah, you've just been able to get him a bit more this year. So I think that
Yes.
kind of takes him out of it.
I'm happy to lock in Cal Wilkie. All in favour of Cal Wilkie, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm happy with Wilkie.
God,
Yeah.
you're a sheep.
Back.
I am. Can I give one more here? So we've gone Taylor
No.
a lock. We've
Yeah.
gone Cal Wilkie a lock.
Literally one player
I reckon
left.
it's out of 2.
Go on.
I reckon it's out of Darcy Moore.
Yeah.
or Jacob Wiedering.
Okay.
And people are going to go,
No.
Jacob Wiedering, what the hell? Carlton have been absolutely terrible.
Yes.
But he stacks up. His performances stack up. I think he's probably either the best or the second best one-on-one defender at just shutting someone out. You still can't really get past him. He's won 2.5 1v1s per game, only lost 13% of his one-on-ones, and he takes 2.8 intercept marks per game, which is right up there as well. I think maybe we're getting a little bit shaded by the Carlton performances with Wiedering.
I'm just looking at Darcy Moore here. He's better in the 1v1 stats.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so how does he compare to Wiedering? Does Wiedering get in over him?
No, I'd go more. But I'm saying it's either one of those two.
Oh, sorry.
You're
I've had a
saying
few beers.
more. You're saying Moore or Wiedering.
Yeah.
I'm saying Worrell or Collins.
Really?
Spot.
Yeah.
Collins has been massive.
Collins has been good, but I would probably lean towards Darcy Moore.
You know what? With Collins, for me, I feel like it's sort of a hipster choice one where it's
I
like,
do get it, but I watched that Geelong game last week and he was just stopping everything.
who did he play on? I don't know if I caught that.
That game in the wet.
Who did he play on though? Was he on Cameron?
It
or-
would have been Cameron, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's like when you look at the opposition that they've played to, the Gold Coast, they've had a really, really nice draw. I feel like that kind of plays into it as well. His numbers definitely don't stack up.
He has been a
White
good
as well.
player for a long time, though. Well, a number of
Yeah,
years, I would say.
BNF.
Collins. I don't think it comes down to fixture. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Like he's in this conversation for a reason. I just wouldn't have him above, say, a Darcy Moore. I just think Darcy Moore's had a.
Well, you guys are on the Darcy Moore train and you're not going to budge with Josh Worrell, are you? So is it?
I
Worrell's-
can't put Worrell in.
Worrell's a gun in the near future.
Yep.
Like he's a good player now and he will become a very, very good player, but he's not in the All Australian team right now.
So you're going with Darcy Moore.
I'm gonna go Darcy
I'd
Moore.
personally probably go with Sam Collins, but for the sake of the exercise, we will say Darcy Moore is our third tall defender. So we have got Sam Taylor, Cal Wilkie, and Darcy Moore as the key tall defender types.
That's a good.
Jeez, we've picked some good players.
And then
We're good at this, aren't we? Yeah.
running distributor types, we've got Bailey Dale, Lockie Ash, Jack Sinclair, and Dane Zorko. Let's go to the midfield now. So we're going to
this is hard.
choose 2 wingers, 3 on the interchange,
Tyler Brock.
and then 3 inside
Yeah,
mids.
so it should be 8 in total.
Well, Ed Richards for me,
I was about to say
him and Jordan Dawson for me have been the 2 best midfielders.
Can
in
we
the
just
comp
put
this
them
year.
in?
Yes,
because I'm
They
happy
have
with
to
that.
be.
Yeah. No questions asked there.
Yeah.
Could you put Richards and Dawson on a wing? Could you put them both on a wing?
I'm not doing that. That's
Not for
facetious.
Richards, as Richards. Okay.
It's just provocative.
Bailey Smith has to be in there.
I'd put him
Brownlow
on the wing.
favourite. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
he's been mainly inside there. It's been the whole
Yeah,
Geelong
but-
evolution.
Yeah, I know, but he's that meters gained running player, right?
I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess most of his possessions are uncontested rather than contested. I reckon he's going at like
Yes.
33,
I'm going to
66.
fact check
Yes.
that.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know how I'm not that
Oh,
smart.
No, that's
but-
his game. It's that power running.
I'm actually
outside
going to
game.
make a call here for us and say we can tie away the wings early, and we can go Bailey Smith on one wing and Oliver Dempsey on the other.
Yeah. how much time does?
Let's-
No, there's actually more curiosity more than me pushing back. Where does Dempsey spend most of his time? Is it on a wing?
the
Because when
wing,
you're watching
yeah.
on TV, like you don't see where the wingers are. You might
No,
see one.
He just runs hard back to goal
Yeah.
in transition, and then he takes contested marks. He's kicked 20 goals
yeah.
so far this season off the
Yeah.
wing.
Yeah,
It's been
that's
incredible.
insane. He's a gun. I was
He's
just
an
curious.
enormous part of what Geelong are trying to do as well. I feel like that sort of plays into this, the growth of him as a player coming in the last couple of years. I'd like to have, I know Bailey Smith isn't the perfect example of this, but I'd like to have at least one genuine winger in the team as opposed
Yeah.
to putting a Zach Merritt on the wing or a
Sure.
Butters
All
or
right.
something.
Sure.
That's
I
a
like
maybe for now, I think. But
Okay.
Bailey Smith, let's lock in. Let's say Bailey Smith on the wing.
We're all happy
Footy
for Bailey
Wire
Smith.
will tell you the contested and uncontested stats, by the way.
We're getting some side bottom in the chat.
Story of my
I
love
put him in
life.
the list. He's in the list.
We've got
we-
Hugh McCluggage has to be in there.
He does.
Yeah.
Would
Now-
he be on the other wing?
Well, okay, he could be, or you could put him off a half forward flank potentially. I don't love doing that. So what do we got? We've got Richards, we've got Dawson, we've got
Bailey Smith.
Smith on a wing.
I-
You could go McCluggage on the wing. Don't love it because he's been completely inside this season.
Yeah.
He's been a bit outside. He's come in off the wing a bunch. Enough to put him on a wing. As much as you can say with Bailey Smith,
I
I
reckon
reckon.
he's 70% CBAs. Like I haven't got that in front of me, but
Has Bontempelli played enough games?
No.
Are we?
No, I put him in the list.
Yeah. Because his performance has been outstanding for the most part.
I think Marcus Bontempelli will be in the All Australian team.
Yeah,
but the question is, do we put him in the?
Yeah, he's missed probably like 40% of the games so far.
Yeah, I think he's like 8 from 12.
Yeah, possibly the ballpark. Yeah.
So I think you can probably just put a line through him, can't you?
Yeah. I'm fine with that as long as that's our reasoning. I'm down for it.
Nick Dacos slots in.
I think Dacos makes it.
Dacos has to make it at least on the bench for me.
Yeah.
Again, I think you have to. A large part of this has to be looking at how well they've played for their teams. We're actually back live here for the third quarter as well, but just what Collingwood's been able to do. I think he sacrificed his game at times as well, Dacos. I think we were pretty okay with locking in Dacos, Ed Richards and Jordan Dawson. We've got 3 more guys to put as midfielders on the interchange.
Yep.
And then we've got our 2 wingers to decide on. We think that Bailey Smith is one of them. We think maybe Hugh McCluggage.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So what are we going with now? Our 3 bench midfielders?
So I think the one that stands out the most for me there, and this might be a little bit controversial because of how Sydney have performed, but I think Isaac Heaney has still been incredible.
I don't like that call.
Really?
Nah.
Talk to me then.
He was winning games for them last year.
He is this year too, though.
It is team form that I sort of think of.
Except when it comes to Freo.
I haven't got any stats in front of me, but I don't know. I don't know if he's had the same impact as last year. I would put... I think Brayshaw's a lock, personally.
A lock?
Yeah, for a bench spot, I think he's been right up there in the coaches' votes this year. Has been in great form week in, week out. He'll be up there in the Brownlow at this point in the season. And I know you don't like the Brownlow, but I think I'd say Brayshaw and Max Holmes are both good shouts.
What about Butters?
But yeah, Butters,
I think Butters is in this team.
He was injured early days.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing. But I do agree. He's definitely been clearly Port Adelaide's best player. Just got such a hard edge. And he's definitely not... I do get you with the Isaac Heaney thing. I just feel like his performance, he's still actually... Like the game against Richmond, like he was incredible in that game. He's still doing some of those, like throwing the
Richmond
cape
were
on.
very poor that day, though.
Yeah. He's still... I feel like he is still having those moments, though, that he have where he's like fully goes Superman mode.
Yeah.
And wins them the game.
Can we agree on one more? So I don't agree with Heaney. I think Max Holmes should be All Australian.
I do too.
Any objection, Jesse?
No, not really. I've been watching a little bit of Geelong in particular the last few weeks, and it's amazing how he can go from a contested situation and then immediately have 25 metres of space very quickly.
Yeah, him and
He'll
Bailey Smith both do that.
That's true, but Max Holmes, like in particular, I've noticed.
There's
so
so
I
many-
wouldn't say I have an objection, no.
They just run over teams with like Holmes, Dempsey, Smith. It's frightening.
It's actually
I'd
Holmes.
lock him in. Finn Callahan was on that trajectory, but I think the shoulder injury probably rules him out of that.
Are you opposed to Brayshaw?
No, I reckon he's...
I think
I should
Brayshaw.
probably take off my Alfreo scarf for this part. I think Brayshaw's had a great season. Yeah, I think Brayshaw on the bench is fair.
I actually reckon still side bottom is not the worst shout either. On performance.
Borderline. So what other names we got here? Noah Anderson. Probably ahead of...
It probably has to be in there,
side
doesn't he,
bottom.
Noah?
Does he?
Side bottom's had a...
We still have one spot?
We've got... So we've done the 2 wingers, McCluggage and Smith.
Oh, we have one spot left.
I thought Dempsey should have been in there, but I like the positional versatility of that.
I thought we did take Dempsey, to be honest.
I thought you guys were favouring McCluggage on a wing.
Oh, is that the other option?
But we could have McCluggage on the bench.
Or Dempsey on the bench.
Or Dempsey on the
Dempsey on the
bench.
bench. Yeah, I'd say that. Like, do that.
I'm not opposed to that. So has Oliver Dempsey had a better season than still side bottom? Marcus Bonton. He has, because the Bont's been out.
Yeah.
Chad Warner hasn't really hit the heights.
Nah, you can't have Chad.
Warner had a massive purple patch after he re-signed, but I think over the...
Another one to throw up into the group, there's Merritt, who's played as a bit of a utility this year. Floated across halfback, played a bit on the outside.
He's still been very, very good. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's in the team.
Dempsey.
I like Dempsey.
I like Dempsey.
Yeah, again, alluding to the fact that we like actually picking a wingman
Yeah.
and then putting him on the bench.
Exactly. So is that a wrap for the mids?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've gone with Dacos, Richards and Dawson.
Yep.
McCluggage and Bailey Smith on the wing.
Yep.
Max Holmes, Brayshaw, and Ollie Dempsey on the bench.
Rucks, we've got to pick one. I'm saying we're picking one ruck. Because I've seen a lot of AA teams at the moment going with 2 rucks. I reckon that's a bit... I think you got to go with one.
Are we ready to 3, 2, 1 it?
I'm going to say we all have 3 different answers.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Max
Tristan
gone.
Max
Sherry.
gone. Hey.
Max gone.
Okay, Max Gorn wins then.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Well, I ran the stats because I was prepared for this fucking debate. And as far as output goes, 37 hitouts is the most. 21 disposals is the most. 7.4 score involvements. That's pure stats.
Yep.
You always fall back on stats to capture what your eye doesn't. But I've seen Max Gorn in person at Optus Stadium, and he is still just about as good as he's
Same
ever
against
been.
Freo, he was one of the best on ground, just taking intercept marks all day long.
I think we get Max Gorn fatigue a little bit because of he's been so good for so long.
Darcy Cameron majorly stiffed.
Yeah, Cameron's very good too.
Yeah, Cameron's had a really good year. I was always going to be happy with this if it was, for me, if it was Gorn or Sherry.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned, I think they have been the 2 best rucks. I agree with you on the Gorn fatigue. I think like the probably the ruck position's changed a little bit, and Gorn, I think another strength of his bow is the fact that he's kind of actually evolved with that. He's still probably the best like tap ruckman in that old school terminology, but he's also had to add a bit of like physicality to his game.
Sure. And he plays it in a way like a key back as well, in the way he sits behind by one kick behind the play.
For sure.
Which
Darcy
is-
Cameron, another one good at that too.
Yeah,
but
exactly. I did completely overlook him accidentally, and I'm well aware he's in the mix as well.
I did put him. Yeah, I put him on the list. I think like
Yeah, you
others
did.
would be like a TDK, but I'm not sure if he's had the complete consistency.
Yeah, I think that would be the one question, but obviously as a young guy, you'd imagine that's only a matter of time.
For sure. Okay, so Max Gorn is our ruckman. Now we've got to pick 3 key forwards.
Okay. So 3 key forwards.
I think this is really easy.
Thilthorpe.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy with Thilthorpe.
Jeremy Cameron.
Jeremy Cameron.
Yep.
Because some of the season's slow, but he's built into it quite nicely.
Yep.
Leading in Coleman still, I think. Yeah, he
And-
kicked 6 today.
Yeah, true.
And Jesse Hogan. It's easy. Hogan kicked 6 today.
He did too, but I mean, Ben King is also pretty close to this, I think, in terms of output.
How many goals? We
Yeah,
just go off goals?
That is superficial, but I think King.
There's obviously a relationship between
Yeah.
kicking goals and being a good player, obviously.
quality of team is a factor as well.
Yeah, and I also think quality of draw, this is similar to what I said about Sam Collins with Gold Coast. They have had a fairly easy run.
They've played 2 less games, to be fair.
And Ben King's kicked more goals.
Yeah, that does change it, doesn't
That
it?
does affect
That
my
does
argument.
affect it, yeah, it
But,
does.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's Brittany, bitch.
I've watched a lot of the Giants this year. The supply that they are getting is so bad.
Yeah, fair.
Their inside, go and look at their inside 50s, their clearance numbers at the moment. Pretty much anything that they're doing is coming from transition. And where is Hogan on the list of the goal kickers? He'd be getting up there.
Yeah.
I don't know if those 6 have gone
He
in
was
the bank.
fourth.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, he's still the best contested mark in the comp.
Yeah. I actually think it's pretty hard to separate those two.
Really?
Yeah. Let us know in the chat what you think.
I'm probably being a little bit, it's a good point to ask the chat, but I'm being a little bit biased on the fact that
Oh, we all have biases based on what we see. Like, no one's seen
Yeah.
the same amount of football and the same amount of teams as any other person.
I probably just don't rate King as highly, which it's not about that for this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go with, so what have we got? We've got Thilthorpe locked. We've got Jeremy Cameron locked in.
Do you think sometimes we also lean towards the more decorated player? Like if it's a line ball decision, you go, oh, well, Max Gorn. Or Jesse Hogan in this case, because he's won a Coleman.
It's kind of the opposite of what you were talking before with
Yeah,
Max Gorn
it's-
fatigue.
I'm
but you
undermining my
can-
own point. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So who are we going to go? We've got to make a decision here. I
Well-
would be going with Hogan. That's my...
I'm not against Hogan.
Yeah, I wasn't against Hogan. I just thought it was very close. So we'll go Hogan.
Stiff for...
Yeah, Ben King is very, very close and can obviously still get there with 3 months to go or whatever.
So we've ended up on Riley Thilthorpe, Jesse Hogan,
And Jeremy
Cameron. And now we're going to pick small forwards.
Oh my God, this is actually the toughest because I looked at 4 names there and I was like, yeah, that's it.
So-
We're picking 4. We're picking 4.
We're picking 4.
All right.
We are picking 4. It's the combination is going to be really difficult. And I want Druzy to
Do
start.
we pick the combination though? We're not picking a team for team balance. We're picking the
We're
best.
picking the
performance.
best
Yeah,
forwards.
Yeah,
we are picking the best forwards.
yeah.
So, small forwards. God, I mean, Jamie Elliott has
Lock.
had one of the
Easy.
best
No doubt.
seasons the small
Yeah,
forwards
we were
had
going
in
Jamie
recent
Elliott.
memory.
Yeah.
Cozzy.
Yes, I think.
Lock.
Lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His only thing would be missing games, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he has had like that Saints game he went missing, but his best this year has been as good as any players.
I'm not leaving this room without Cosy Pickett. He has to be.
Well, you can leave this room.
He lives here.
Some of the games he's played have been out of this world. Probably a player we didn't bring up on the last one that should have been mentioned too is like Sam Darcy is probably still in that conversation as a key forward. The missed footy obviously puts him down.
Jamie Elliott, Cosy Pickett. Where does Nick Martin come into this?
Oh, we didn't pick Nick Martin.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, you could have played him off a high half forward sort of role.
Yeah.
Man, someone's going to be stiff here.
Yeah.
So I think Jack Higgins... is Higgins...
I agree.
Higgins is in it, I reckon.
I agree with this. He should be on output,
yeah.
but I don't like it.
We nearly had
I really don't
We were
like
so
it.
close to having 4 Saints in this team.
I think that there is an element of this. He's been phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But when you don't have that focal point as a key position forward, someone's got to pick up the slack.
He also plays for St Kilda. With all due respect.
No, but
They're one of the worst teams for converting forward 50 entries to goals. And he is sitting high in the common medal.
no, I know. But do you get what I'm saying? As in, like every team's going to get inside 50s and create opportunities, and someone has to
West
take.
Coast. Yeah.
Like if you're a small forward at the Giants with Jesse Hogan, he's going to take up a large percentage of that market share of ball coming in. Higgins doesn't have that, and that's why his numbers are a bit elevated. I'm not saying that we shouldn't put him in the team because of that, but that's a factor.
All right, let's say
Yeah.
Higgins is borderline. I don't think Toby Green has had an All-Australian year.
No.
There's
not the
a
player I
couple
was
of crows here. So Rochelle, Rankin, and one you haven't thrown up is Ben Keys.
Rankin has to be in there.
I think Rankin definitely.
And
Yeah.
I agree with, I love Ben Keys.
He's stiff.
Stiff.
Because he isn't a player that's going to get massive stats and kick 5 goals, but the impact he has per contest, I think, is incredible.
He's having a
agree.
great season. It's just not quite All-Australian quality. A lot of quality players don't make the AA.
Could it be that he is having that, but the fact that we're only picking 4 forwards?
Yeah.
And Rankin's just a nicer, sexier player.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Rankin's been good
I don't think
too.
you can deny Rankin's impact.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. But
Adelaide are not the same team without Isaac Rankin.
True.
And that's also true of Jordan Dawson.
I would say if Paul Curtis didn't get suspended, he would be in the conversation.
yeah, probably doesn't get the credit he deserves playing for North. God, Rochelle's had a... So we got one more forward.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a cheeky Nick Martin on the
I'd love a
half-forward
Nick
flank.
Martin. Like a player down on that list too that's had a really good season is Bailey Humphrey.
Yeah, again, still, where would you say like a Cam Rayner is? Because he's played some good footy in the last
he has.
month.
Very impactful in passages. Brisbane are how many Brisbane players have we actually got into this team? I don't reckon there's many.
Dane
'Cause if-
Zorko.
Yeah.
Well,
and
actually, we didn't really
McCluggage.
give any...
Oh, and McCluggage.
Lockie Neal. How did we not even discuss him?
He's not had a...
You don't think so?
Nah.
I remember
Yeah, that's
an
stiff.
article talking about how he might actually win another Brownlow.
I probably will.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Dylan's least favourite
He probably
award.
was worth a shout, so forgive us for that.
Yeah.
Again, great player fatigue.
Yeah,
Sometimes go
100%.
past it. Like those
Well, I've
types.
said it on this channel before that he's like the cleanest ball handler I've ever seen.
Yeah, and a
Only
good
second
footballer.
to Jesse McCullough. I fumbled that. Not a good ball handle by me. It has Lockie Neal had a better season than Nick Dacos? Probably not. Better than Ed Richards. I think Richards
Nah,
has been one of the most
Dawson.
damaging. And then Dawson. So
Damaging.
has he had a better season than Brayshaw, Holmes and Dempsey? Maybe.
I have a little bit of
It's
a
hard.
thing here though, where like Patrick Dangerfield's name sitting there, and again, some of the football that he's played in matches to win Geelong games, I'm going like that's crazy what he was doing.
Yeah.
As a like pseudo forward, small tall kind of weird hybrid.
Yeah. But yeah, injury and coming back up to fitness, I think you don't include Dangerfield.
Just
So
put
I'm Higgins, Nick Martin. Do we go another mid? Do we jam a...
Fist in.
yeah, I think it's Martin.
Who's had a better year, Nick Martin or Steel Side Bottom? Have we got any... we got Dacos. We got to choose one more forward and we're done. One more small forward.
I think it's Higgins, personally.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, it's
But we've picked 4 like genuine crumbing smalls, which is a little bit unconventional as well. We haven't picked like a...
okay. I'm Nick
medium.
Martin. I'm Nick Martin.
Which I did say we shouldn't actually pick on team balance, but
Nick Martin?
it's probably Nick Martin. I feel sad for Jack Higgins. but
He's getting stiffed here,
he's
Jack.
probably actually going to make it though at this rate.
So who have we gone?
We'll go Nick.
Go Nick.
Oh,
Yeah,
so stiff on Higgins.
yeah, they're both stiff.
All
yeah.
right, I'm going to go over.
So we've gone Nick Martin for the final place.
So
All right.
we've done a 23-man.
We're playing him on the bench.
AA
23,
here.
is it? Okay,
Yeah,
Nick Martin, you can sub for your versatility.
Yeah.
Halfback,
he can be
wing,
the sub.
midfield, forward.
Exactly. So we've gone from the back line. Our small defenders, Bailey Dale, Lockie Ash, Jack Sinclair, Dane Zorko. Tall defenders, we've gone Sam Taylor, Cal Wilkie, Darcy Moore. We've gone in the midfield, Nick Dacos, Ed Richards, Jordan Dawson, McCluggage and Bailey Smith on the wing. And then we've gone Andrew Brayshaw, Max Holmes, Ollie Dempsey on the bench. We've gone Max Gawn as our ruck. Key position forwards, we've gone Riley Thilthorpe, Jesse Hogan, and Jeremy Cameron. And small forwards, we've gone with Jamie Elliott, Cozzy Pickett, Isaac Rankin, and Nick Martin. Let us know in the comments
There we go.
what you think.
I think Higgins is the one I'm probably most uncomfortable with here, but
me too.
we've picked the team, so there you go.
Ben King, Jack Higgins.
Ben King, another one. Good call.
God, so many
Tristan Jerry
midfielders.
as well, probably stiff. But
Collingwood fans are going to be hating that Darcy Cameron and Steele side bottom art in the side. Darcy Cameron's probably second for me behind Gawn.
fair.
Interesting.
No,
I mean, he's not that far off, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
dispute
Even
it.
though Freo just got dominated by Sherry.
They did not get dominated by Sherry. Let's wrap up that segment
Yeah, we-
anyway. Our mid-season All-Australian team.